Come on, damn it. At least if when you go on my YouTube, if it gives me the option to view my life, because I can't see it, it don't want to load. Oh, it loaded now. Never mind. Okay, hon, enjoy. I'm just doing my niece's nails. I'm not going to be talking much because I really don't talk much on my lives. But I will try my best to be engaged. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. These are real rabbits. Mm-hmm. Wait, you watch the Indian documentary?
They ain't got to watch it. They all that good.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't see it come up.
Yeah.
I like to watch it, but it just seems it's coming up on TikTok. I need to start. Boy, can't make me believe that. He do half the things that he
He
said.
do all the things that he say he do. All.
Why you say a lot of that?
He was an envious man. He always wanted what everybody else had.
Yeah, that's true. It does very good. It's really true. It's not from one thing. And it's got to come up. That's the first Croatia. That's the first Croatia right there. I think still living.
Fame was meant to do anything, girl. And that's what them kind of girls are after fame.
And then his daughters, his daughters, his daughters.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what. That's what we'll
Got me
go.
wondering about his son too.
For sure. Daddy drew me up.
Alright then.
But apparently the regular and shot your regular. If you wait your hand. That's the one that's not his apparently. What do you think?
Hmm.
You sure? I mean,
Can be answer pot too.
This ain't not his dad.
I don't believe that's a pot dead, but that's just my.
Not his dad. Michael did.
Huh?
Michael did. If you only
I'm so
heard,
sure about that one.
only heard with the children, like it's strange. Like they're gonna be dead though, for sure. Not all of a sudden, Tupac kids and say come out to be with birds.
I don't believe that he dead for sure. I think he got raped. Yeah, I think he got shoot up, but I don't think he died.
We watch people like the way in life.
And I can tell you why, but I can't tell you why I don't life.
So that's how cool.
Alright then.
Jesse is on this. But did he send 50 Cent flowers?
Hmm?
Did he send 50 Cent for my flowers?
He did?
Yes.
That isn't real petty.
Which was like sunflowers and couple flowers and mix.
50 cent
I
real
don't
petty.
mind. He was no fool. It's not
Real petty. You might as can't be dead.
see the documentary. I went and saw interviews with a nice smile on his face because he's so
He
satisfied
say
and
no, sir.
happy.
He say no.
Or they were also saying they made an account for the twins a month before the mom died.
Who made an account?
Instagram account.
Oh.
So the day after or the day of is when they met my first boss.
Mm.
And again, and
Wow.
it was accurate.
Wow.
That is disturbing.
Very. I made it. Turn up for them.
First of all, Lily, yes,
So?
Lily is before I call some of our buddies. I shouldn't even go call the thing out.
She gotta take care of the children, so she should be up. Wait, let me talk about this.
You sleeping? Lily, you sleep? Huh? Sleep? Can't have breakfast. Can't have breakfast. It's on the internet. My sister said earlier, this video thing. The picture can still show. Looks nice. Very nice. Yes, mom? Sure. Daphne got it? Yes, ma'am. It was. The basket got downstairs, the pink basket. That was not to put my door closure. Me and Mark want to put my clothes in my basket. If we need to go to home, we were done. Outside. Well, she gonna get my bathroom. I don't want the clothes on top of the drawer. That's all I want to do. And just get it, man. Wash your eyes and wash your face and doing so many things yourself, so you know you do the same thing.
Man, disgusting.
You can see that though. He no shop. When I had Caroline,
Mm-hmm.
so disturbing. He didn't even let me do it. How did you make that this footage? Is the question.
Because he did recording himself to make a documentary.
On himself,
Mm-hmm.
being 50 Cent.
Mm-mm. You people give it up.
Mm.
Girl, money talks here.
He can't do nothing for this. It's sad.
Anything for sale, girl. Hmm. I'm just making sure that I start from the beginning because I watched it already, so I wasn't sure.
200 baht. Oh, maybe again, too. Shit, so this is the same too.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Bad Boy has some real good music, but geez, that's like R. Kelly too. I love R. Kelly music, but jeez, who made these men feel like they were invincible and they used to do things to people like, oh, you're not human.
Yeah, Lord, him too.
And I
Feel
said,
like,
all the time, it ain't just them that you got charged, it's the people around them too.
yeah, the people that raised him. People like,
Like I
the
say all the
mentor
time, a
him.
lot of the parents are them R. Kelly
Especially Daddy Mama. The same.
in trouble or they sleeping with, a lot of the parents gonna lock him up too.
It's
Because then sell
crazy
lecturer
because
for
my
fame.
grandmother, ooh, the belief, that's what she lied. The belief trustee, she lied. All the name that was underneath. Just in general, not after being underneath. When I walked in the corner, just in general, after. Took the whole, and then he was like, well, jump on the seat. He said, he said, I ain't got the seat. It's just the bare floor. He said, it's sad, you know.
Not just petty for no damn reason.
That is a cancer thing.
Hey, hey, how are you, Mama? I'm trying to remember your official name, Gigi. Well, your government name, I should say. Talk about official name. So, I am doing my niece's nails for the holidays. She wants stilettos. So, we just applied the tips and shipped. Okay, let me see. Thanks, hon. All right. So you want a or the orange, same orange that we used the last time.
This is a pinky. Oh, that's sweet. We didn't regret using the pinky last time.
We did the orange, we did the leopard print. The orange is sparkle in it. We want that, we want black.
Penny tips.
Huh?
Penny tips.
Can't take any color.
Right.
And you want black and gold? Girl. I don't want to icicle nail.
Icicle? What's her name? The only entrance into hip hop at that point was Andre Bell and Russell Simmons into the corporate hip hop world, into the money.
Oh, come on.
Sean had impressed Andre enough to give him an internship.
So I wanted to do gold
I worked with Sean
and
Uptown.
bicycle.
I'm laid out for you. When you throw the Uptown record, you throw the LED, and I'll be sure.
What did man he wrong with? Like he was wrong. He told him look, they man he was wrong.
Billboard charts on that first platinum artist on the Uptown label.
I was saying it was wrong.
You know, he was a real petty.
What else? I'll be sure. That was Kim. That's Kim X now.
So that is person from Mama?
Yeah. Yeah,
That
the
father?
the Redskin one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his son.
Okay.
Yeah, that's his son.
Kim is at the receptionist desk at Uptown. You get out the elevator, first person you see is Kim. And it was a beautiful sight.
Okay, so this is my prep trio. A dehydrator. I think the gel and dehydrator had finished, and I have
And now Sean's always at the
acetone
receptionist
and
desk.
alcohol in here, and I use the Young Nail Sporting Bond. I use 2 quarts of this and then 2 quarts of the Mia Secret Extra Bond.
It was weird in the air because everyone knew this was Al's girl. Al is hot as fish grease right now. Hi, this is Al, be sure. Here's my exclusive number. $2 for the first minute, 45 cents for the traditional minute. And Sean was not really like the catch.
Cause he ain't cute.
He didn't drink alcohol. He forbade marijuana. He did not like drugs. He had become and he looked like scholastic.
I'm not pro.
Candy say he look like a mackerel. I don't want Hannah.
But when Sean wants something,
Candy said it might look like a mackerel.
it might be a couple of years from
He
now,
was funny.
but sooner or later,
That little boy
he's
funny.
gonna get it.
Yep.
Andre Bell, Heavy D, I'll be sure. They had all the money and all the power. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know what they did.
Money and
That's what I
power.
wanna do.
I
I got to Uptown.
Covetous.
And I saw him being built into cool. He had to go through the Uptown flavor camp.
Just sad. Looking at what people have and wanting it. And that's how he was all his life.
Willie Burgers on 45th and 84 being at the rooftop.
I say all the time, I don't want nothing that belongs to nobody. Because I don't know what you do to get it and what you have to do to keep it.
The young Sean Combs during that time, he was so tenacious.
I just want what the Lord has for me.
Wednesday into Tuesday, he was set about doing it. First task we had given him was just go get the tape 10 blocks away. He came back in 2 minutes or something crazy. And I remember I was on the phone. I looked up when he came back.
I
I
think
said,
he killed his too.
how'd you get there so fast? And he said, I ran there and back.
Never heart attack mysteriously.
Oh,
And he was supposed to be coming out with a book.
I didn't know then that was never going to stop to run there and run back. He ingratiated himself to Andre and made
That's what
himself
this needed
very
to go.
valuable. Something that you don't want to do without. Like, who's going to get my clothes? Who's going to overall my tire? This is so convenient. Then they lived together. Bought the first $1 million house. Funny that weekend, just before I moved in.
I can't turn the TV up. I don't want YouTube blocking my video.
Andre's taking him under like a son. Andre is the very first patriarch he connected with. Sean grew up with the illusion of
Oh,
what
this is like
masculinity
maybe.
looks like. My first encounter with Sean, I remember it like yesterday. My family, we rented the first floor of Sean's house. I was my mom and dad's only child. So now Sean has somebody to brother up with. We experienced a lot of firsts together. I taught him how to ride a bike. It was the best thing in my life to let go of the bike and him start riding. It fit so well. Sean
misfit, just like me. But the difference in my household, my dad taught me right. But then again, I guess I can turn it up a little bit more because. No, Sean didn't have that. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce my mother, Janice Combs. They would still turn on the block because if you hear any background anyway. What were the primary jobs that you did to support your family?
I did so many jobs at one time. I worked at the
Remember, she said something in this interview and he looked at you real nasty.
At the Board of Ed in Westchester County. I drive the school bus. Worked in the baby's boutique shop. And he never knew this. I worked in the after-hour spot too.
Oh, that's what she said.
I had to come quick. I needed to come quick.
See?
I made more money because the men thought I was very glamorous and I used to pour liquor and they'd give me big tips.
See?
In Sean's house, there was Janice and there was Sean.
She used to do it.
Father's name is Melvin Combs.
Actually, there was something important.
That's just the trouble she said.
His brains blown out like a Central Park wedding. I did the research. They say
Weird shit like
Mama
that.
had brought me to the funeral of full like chinchilla.
That's just so gross. Ew.
It was like a sigh of relief, you know what I'm saying? Because I finally knew that what I was feeling was true. You know what I'm saying? That I was the son of a hustler or a gangster. Melvin's presence was there. His money was there. And I understood that Melvin made a lot of things possible.
I'm using Dream Nail Supplies monomer.
If you look at some of the
And this is Mia's Secrets Natural Pink. I put down as a base instead of using clear.
Into something. The hats, fur coats. I think she tried to overcompensate for the father being gone by making him into this dandy.
Everything associated with Sean was hard. Whoever was flying home, that's what he was as a child. Janice, she'd always be in home, and there were times where she'd bring us. Here we are in this brand new Cadillac, because I saw Janet drove. She's making stops. Here and there, and we knew the group, the drill, they'll sit there, I'll be right back. She ain't turning the car off. Nobody took the car. No. So you knew there was a different vibe going on with this family. In his household, the groove was a little different. A lot of Donna Summer playing. And then we had these movies we watched.
It's got to be number one.
This genre of films called black exploitation.
Super dude.
We had Superfly,
Super fly.
The Man.
You got nothing. You want everything. You gotta give it back.
These parts were hustler parts. In Sean's household, you start to see all the stuff that you saw in the movies. The next one. Jazz, you have no party. Gangsta life. Artifact. You got ladies that look like they're straight out of a Jet magazine. Some brothers up there, if you want to call them pimps, you can. If you want to call them hustlers, you can. You got a member of I feel so. I don't pimp or drug dealer. But they didn't really talk about him. Yeah, they mentioned him, but they didn't really talk about him. But I feel he was either one or the other.
I try to understand childhood background. You have to literally grow up seeing these things.
Mm-hmm.
You don't just be like that.
Mm-hmm. And all of this stuff he's taking in. So from the movie screen to the home screen, these are the makings of Sean Combs. Now mind you, as a child, Sean was goofy. Kids would pick on him a lot around the block. And he didn't know how to defend himself. Sean was a prince. And Janice, she didn't want no princess. She held back nothing.
You said I would be 12 years old. And sometimes I'd be out until 3, 4 in the morning.
James, we're not to get into that right now.
Ma'am?
Got a lot of beatings too.
His beatings made me scared. Right? I got beatings now. But when he got his beatings, it wasn't a joking thing. No. Damn, I hate thinking about that, man. My mother was, I guess, raising me for the real world. She was always told me if somebody hit me, make sure I hit them back harder. Make sure they never hit me again. Make sure I fucked them up. You know how you hear your mom's voice?
Abuse. Left, right, and center.
Boy, you better. Boy. Sean started fighting. He started stepping up. But Sean don't fight like this. Sean's gonna bite you. He's gonna eat your ear off. He's gonna cut your neck open with a fist. Now, he's not losing. I know people shaped by pain as well as by love. And if there's more pain than love, watch out. There's going to be pain that you're going to give others because you're responding to that pain that you just can't seem to cut out of you.
I didn't know much about him. I know that he had a big ego. I met him around 89, 90. My job was to promote music videos. And Puffy,
video girl.
he was always into party promotions, so he's always like handing out the flyers.
At the time I was working on Under Girl, they wasn't paying me enough, so I had to promote parties on the side. It was all good, like, right? Daddy's house.
He was happy enough to promote parties. They were the most successful parties at that time. But they were all about promoting himself.
One of the brothers that put the party together, my man, Puff Daddy.
Really, it was no problem because all my black brothers and sisters came together. And I'm a man, so express all the beautiful women out here. We came together just to have a good time.
I went to a
royalty.
party for
Royalties.
was getting ready. Puffy is like,
I don't know
oh,
if it was MHS or the program.
Yep. I don't know how women just go after people like Lowen and Berman and that sort of people and Ray Ross. Like, how? I don't care how much money you have. No, please. Mm-mm. They're so not attractive.
Puffy is like very polite, thanking me for helping him. And he asked me, oh, wow, I just got this call, this girl backed out of this music video, can you do it? And I was like, I don't do music videos, but this party was in New Jersey, and I needed a ride back to Manhattan. So I went along. And I never forget, I had the same clothes on that I had from the night before. The music video was called Straight from the Soul by Finesse and Simquist. The whole premise was for me to jump out the car and go with these girls and get away from the pimp guy. Was there ever a time that Sean Combs sexually assaulted you? Someone called me up and told me that,
Alright, so let's see what we're gonna do. Which one we gonna do the icicle on?
and that's when he
This one?
described it and explained it.
I can do it on this one.
I just want to say this. This thing was incredibly devastating to my family. My mother, she's a social worker. We don't have money. The thing that we had was our pride. We carried ourselves well. We were pretty. We were intelligent. This is the basis of what I had, self-respect. My mother wrote a letter to Combs' parents. I just found this recently. Can I read it? Dear Mr. and Mrs. Combs, I'm writing you to inform you of something that your son did to my daughter. One weekend while visiting my daughter, I woke to her screaming in the middle of the night. She told me that she was dreaming about Puffy. I asked her why she was screaming and who is this Puffy person that he would cause her to have nightmares. I was shocked and mortified to hear her story. She told me that several people have come to her to inform her that your son has made an obscene videotape of her. Without her knowledge, he videotaped him doing something sexual to her. Apparently, your son shows these tapes at parties on large screen televisions. I realize that this may be hard for you to believe, but if I hadn't heard this story from my daughter's own mouth and looked into her eyes, I would have scarcely believed that any individual would compromise another person's dignity in this manner. I approached a lot of people for help. I got things like, what do you want me to do about it? To, if I help you, I can't get into his parties.
Puff Daddy's house. What's up? Revolutionize the hip-hop club scene.
Why would you want to do that? Drug and rape the girl, tape it, and then put it up on the screen. Here's my theory. Alpo Martinez, drug lord, famous Harlem street tough guy, hung out at the rooftop.
Alpo had a lot of girls, and he would take girls that he was having sex with, and then on a Saturday night, he might bring his camera and put it on the wall.
And everyone knows that's so-and-so's girl. What Sean saw was, I want to be looked upon in that way, as someone that has that
I'm trying
type
to
of
figure out what to
stature.
do. I'm gonna do a marble black
All
and
his
marble on
life,
this
he's
one.
been trying to honor a man
City Vision.
he believed it was a famous
Give me
Harlem
that thing.
gangster, and that gave his father a mythic presence. People like Alpo, he looked at those guys with a certain amount of jealousy or envy,
He had the wrong
a
kind
certain
of
amount of
figures.
respect.
Yeah, no fighter
And
figure.
there's a certain amount of
His
desire.
mentors is who got his soul, and then was his father figures, and I guess in his age. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He crushed the words himself off of TCC.
I did.
He's just envious of
I
people.
avoided
He
him
just wanted
for
what
a very
everybody
long
else
time.
had.
I ran into him one day. He came to me. He got on his knees and swore he did not do this thing to me and denied it. And that is the very last time I talked to him. When I think back in terms of his rise, it is the most helpless feeling. I was always nauseous when I saw his image. The one image in Times Square where he's holding his fist up, when I saw it, I vomited right down the street. You are really raising your hand of victory, and I'm living in trauma and defeat.
New legal trouble for Sean Diddy Combs.
Another new lawsuit.
The sexual assault, sex trafficking, and drugging underage girls.
Prosecutors in New York have interviewed numerous women who alleged wrongdoing.
It's the 10th civil lawsuit filed against Sean Diddy Combs.
Stick the blood, man. What the fuck else are around? What's the watching silly for? Just silly bullshit, noise. Nonsense, noise. It's like the legal system is doing it now. Just like legally, we got it. It's like I gotta spend money to go and get rid of this bullshit. Oh yeah, I ain't got none left. Got none left going on. They ain't breaking me though.
All right, boss. If you don't mind, one picture. I'm not good with the camera, so I'm gonna try.
Yeah, it's up here. Y'all got me? Yeah, as a group, Sean was destined to be famous. Okay. Yeah. I didn't see infamy coming. I swear I didn't see that coming. I'm 19, and I always like seeing people entertain. And I thought, over the holidays, just wanted to throw a celebrity basketball game in Harlem.
I was at the game. I was on the court. All of us was there. Every rapper in New York, right? Yo MTV Raps came.
I'm at City College in the heart of New York City for the Puff Daddy Heavy D first all-time celebrity all-star classic.
That was one of the biggest basketball games. That would have turned out correctly, or it went down in history.
There were lines and lines around campus to get in. There's no more room, but everyone still wants to come. You open up the doors, everybody starts flowing through, but then the house is more come. There's this thing in hip-hop called Bum Rushing the Door. People don't have a ticket when they hear something sold out. They say, fuck, we gotta still get it, we gonna bum rush the door. When they got to the bottom of the stairs, the doors didn't go out that way, they only came in. So people were stuck. And just crushing people down at the bottom of the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
You on the court, warming up to play, and then Dougie Fresh grabbed the mic and said, "There's people that are dead."
Sean overpromoted, overhyped, and that led to a crowd. It was just like, oh shit, how did it just happen so quick? How are people gonna explain it?
We need a lot of help here. There's a lot of people hurt and aren't breathing. Not breathing? Yes. We have an emergency over here. We got a lot of people here dead in the gymnasium. Please. They're dead.
The death toll from last week's stampede at a New York charity basketball game has risen to 9.
Let's get trampled. All for money. $12, man.
What do you mean $12?
Cost $12 for a ticket.
One of the unanswered questions remains who's to blame for the stampede that killed 9 people.
Throughout the newspaper headlines, throughout the confusion, the finger pointing, who's responsible, Sean, y'all, in real time, carried the weight of all of that.
My dream for this evening was to bring a positive program to my people, to people of my age, and to people in my community. Whatever must be done to ensure that this never, ever, ever happens again.
It was the biggest news ever. That's how you got super famous. Was that
You
game
hear that?
and those deaths. That's the
Mm-hmm.
beginning of Puff Daddy.
That's really how I started to become famous. Still a tragedy.
He was holed up in a hotel on the east side, him and his mother. He didn't know what was going to happen. And I saw Janice question Sean. He's going into this music business thing. He just left school, and now this extreme tragedy has occurred. She's like, did he make the right decision? And I saw him put his hands on her, call her a bitch, and slapped her. He's not looking back.
Sean Puff Daddy Phones and sponsors claim no responsibility in the tragic chain of events. They claim 9 lives and
The brass that afforded Uptown its distribution money wanted Sean out. I saw Andre fight and fight to keep Sean in, and he did.
Andre Ralph Puff Daddy, he's passed on to, I guess, his son, protege. Yes.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about this man and why you like working with him.
Because, you know, he's not intimidated by youth, you know what I'm saying? He knows the importance of leaving a legacy behind. Because we need more adults out there that's going to teach the young, such as myself. I took Andre Harrell out to lunch, and I said, can I get a chance? Maybe do A&R. The A&R, the artist and repertoire. That's the guy that works with the record company that puts the records together and works with the artists. I said, give me a chance, you know, you're making music for young people. I'm young, and, you know, who better to make music than me?
Hmm?
Man, doing that with no looking at each other.
Back in the day, they drove up to New York unannounced to meet Andre Harrell. When we make a love,
Jody C, man.
it's like a dream. They sing for Andre. Andre loves it. Immediately that becomes Puff's first responsibility. Nigga, go make Josie.
Hmm?
Andre put his trust with Sean as opposed to the artist.
Is it gray?
Hmm?
Is it gray?
He told
Gray what?
us, I
Color
don't
gray.
care who the artist is, you're
You see
more
what it
important.
says?
What?
The artist don't work without you.
Huh?
There's a light gray
The
on
ideal
this.
musical setting for y'all.
No, this is gonna be the icicle one.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
You have to be able to control
Let's say again, try and see if I could get black in it. Like do
The images and design most of the clothing for all of the artists.
It was him that
a
put
jelly sort of
Josie
color.
in the pants bag. He
Yeah.
sang at the bottom.
I gotta figure out how to
He
do
was
that
not
first.
lacing it up. He is able to sponge from the community and the culture and package it. And in the studio, he did the same thing. Sean wasn't a producer where he can tell you, you need a C here, a C note, or this is an F. But he did have a good ear for what could be a hit. Let me give you an example. At the rooftop in Harlem, the DJ Brucey B would mix acapellas from R&B songs with hard hip-hop beats.
Mm-hmm. So I would tell you the man was a musical genius. He could produce a song, but he.
It was very minimal. It was very hard beat and snare, no melody. Jodeci's record started climbing the
Enough
charts.
go past the lines, man.
Sean turned that into the blueprint for his special brand of A&R. And then the next artist to benefit from that was Mary J. Blige.
Get married, pop. Get this phone, niggas. They married.
Mary's What's the 411 was out the box.
In the morning, we gotta do this video shoot.
The hat pulled down,
So we be looking
seriousness,
at her too.
had a little bit of a dark
She get abused.
to it as well.
She get abused left, right, and center in the media industry.
He launched a female artist in a male-dominated hip-hop era who became an instant success, and that created hip-hop soul. Mary became the owner of that sound. Sean was making the hits happen and the visuals happen. In 1992, Sean is promoted to VP of A&R and Artist and Development.
So my name's Puff Daddy, Vice President of A&R and Art Development for Uptown Records. Which brought you the hits of Jodeci, Mary J. Blige, Every Damn Boy's Falling C, and you know, on and on and on.
Puffy had Jodeci and Mary J. Blige, but Puffy's a big, huge EPMD fan. He was at my crossover video shoot. He asked me to do the Mary J. Blige intro for the 4-1 album.
What do you kill him on top of his on your chest?
I did that for him, and then all of a sudden we became friends.
Let's get my bed.
I thought it was a genuine friendship
Tupac
until
tattoo on your
I see
chest?
that this
What's
game is
going
being
on?
played.
You bond out? You bond
Mm.
out?
Agenda.
Yeah.
Lisa, he was trying to court her after we broke up.
Sean wants her because Eric was that dude. It was about, I got her, I won her over from him.
He had to have the girl. And Sean has a way about when he gets you, he got you. He got you. And now you become property. Me and Lisa were just friends. But he wanted to make sure that there was no calling and me being friends with that girl.
Sean's jealousy, it got to the point where he put his hands on her. Right outside of Uptown Records. They're fighting in the street, and he's beating her into the car well. She's on the ground. And people are pulling him off of her and separating her. A year or two later, they're still together, and Justin is born. And he invited me to be the godfather of his first son. I was able to push that in the back of my mind and say that was a really bad moment where he was weak, and it was a bad moment. Does that make me part of a Sean Combs cult? Maybe so. I may have been the first disciple, believer, and then overall protector against all odds.
Jodeci, Mary J. Blige, Puff Daddy, come to the stage, baby.
At that point, Sean's on top of the world. His trajectory was only up.
I was just a wonder kid. It was just something that they never saw before. To be young and to be Puff Daddy. It's just like, I felt like my dream had came true.
Everybody now is looking for this kid. Because they all have artists that they have to get to the top of the chart. What does that do to a person? Do you think I'm still gonna be like Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Thank you very much. He became too big for Uptown Records.
I'm gonna be so drunk and high by Wednesday, 8 o'clock. I'm not really gonna give a fuck.
But I give a fuck.
There started to be some dissension between Andre and
Andre was the king of the Uptown Castle of the empire he created,
Andre Harrell. Mm-mm.
and the intern was taking his place.
I remember it like yesterday. Andre called me into his office. He tells me just like this. He says, dog, I just fired Puff. I said, word? It was a sad day. Andre was like a
Let me say
surrogate
them.
dad for Sean.
Let me see them.
Sean was really sick when Andre fired. I'm talking about sick. Couldn't believe it. And then Sean called me. And he said, yo, I'm about to do my thing, dog.
Like, yo, I'm looking for some hardcore artist. He's ain't tired of doing the various shit. Jealousy, so he wanna do some hard shit, some street shit.
Attitude. NWA, baby.
West Coast had the hits that we wanted.
Sean signed Biggie in 1992. People didn't know. We had to produce Biggie's album for Uptown. He was an Uptown artist.
So it's in the big then.
Yeah.
So he like T, business instead of game. Right, that's what I'm about to.
But when Andre fired Puff, he fired him with a caveat. I'm letting you go, but I'm gonna let you take Biggie with you.
All right, we got Tracy in here.
Biggie album. But now, we had to find a way to pay for it. We were living on borrowed time. It was about setting up the meetings. We met with Epic, Sony, Columbia, and we met with Clyde Davis and Arista.
Everybody knows him on a first
Oh,
name
thank
basis.
you, DD. That's Dream Nail Supplies Halo. Sorry, yeah. So it's Dream Nail Supplies
Houston, Carly
Halo.
Simon, Aretha Franklin,
I'm not sure she still has any because, as you guys know, she closed her LLC.
So we went to Clyde and we played a few tracks on his album. And I remember one of the first ones that we played was Gimme the Loot.
Yes, love, look at fucking attitude. Because the nigga play pussy, that's the nigga.
And Clyde's eyes went like this.
I'm slamming niggas like Shaquille. Shit is real.
So I said, no, we cut the lyrics. And I broke into his picture.
Named the dad boy. I don't want to go against the grain. I don't want to just make records. I don't want to just make money. I want to make history.
Right. That's right.
I was at that when we started on the day that we put the LLC together, and Sean gave me 25% in stock, and his mother Janice had 75%. He did not put the company in his name to protect him from paying families to CCNY. And I saw from that moment on, Sean had shifted in his personality. I didn't see any more of the Mount St. Michael teen Sean. He had become more like the person I see today. We did a deal for approximately $10 million. 1.5 went as an advance into Sean's pocket. Another 1.5 is supposed to be our overhead. Sean said, that's yours. You can do whatever you want, but you better make sure my company's running. From day zero, I wrote everything down every day so I can keep track of everything I needed to do. I ran all the money, all the budgets for the company, as well as a lot for his personal life and all that came with it.
I don't like the way you treating me on me getting my second half. This shit is bullshit, yo. Yo, bust your ass and just
I think that he had this thing with strongmen, and he had a thing with wanting to be one, but not positioned to be one street-wise, but positioned to be one industry-wise. And they call that a paper gangster.
You know, I'm not paying, no am I involved in any of that shit.
And so as he's paper gangstering, he's also trying to street gangster too at the same time. He's not on the street. His mother did the very best to give him the best.
What's next? Give me something else. What can't you do? I can do it.
But now he's been getting beefier and beefier with the power from music. That's a good way to get your head filled up to think that you're just as gangster as they are now, without even having to pop your gun off yourself.
Now, after all this time, me and Misa is still cool. We were just friends. But now, she just happened to be in my driver's seat of my truck. And all of a sudden, I heard somebody go, and it's him. He's steaming. He swings on me. So I'm laughing, and I'm like, you swung on me? You put yourself in jeopardy knowing you can't whoop none of us. So now I'm like, let's go around the corner. Because I'm respectful enough. So he actually gets in the car, and we drive around the corner. So I'm about to get my business. Shit could have got really ugly. And he just said, yo, sit down, I want you to hear something real quick. And that's when he played in the Biggie Smalls album.
Put it in now. Okay. Put it in now.
All the teachers that told me I never amount to nothing.
Juicy single, dropped summer of '94.
It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazines.
But Biggie's trajectory was not zero straight to the top. Biggie had a slow start, very nervous at first. At the time, that West Coast thing is happening. So we began to look at what they were doing, and Tupac was like a shining star.
He sent something.
I Get Around by Tupac.
Round around, round around, round around.
That song, if you're like in a science lab and you're looking at something with a microscope and you're trying to figure out what it is and what it's made of, that's what we did with that song, I Get Around. Sean was just mesmerized by that particular song, the structure of it, the video,
The video for sure.
showed the culture. It's like, let me dissect this, let me understand.
And that's just what it's gonna do.
And the next single was Big Papa, and that dropped and it took us over the edge with Big Papa. I liked it. He was out of here.
I love it when you call me Big Papa. No.
It still is.
Big had sent Tupac a demo, and we played that tape to death, and we played that tape till it was destroyed. And then Pac got the phone call that Big was having an album release party. He said,
Yeah, you can take it
we
home.
all going to that. He was very excited.
Don't bend your fingers.
I've never seen someone more excited for someone else's success as Pac was for Big's success. He thought Big was dope. He wasn't doper than him as far as he was concerned. But he was the next thing smoking. I'm a high guy, so let's stop putting the swelling on your eye. Even when the choke you stop breathing, the police come leaving. Peace and love. Pop would take Big with him on tours and let him open up for him. Pac was developing thug life, this ideology of taking back our communities. Big was with that. He felt it. He resonated with it. So they had a connection.
Sean was insanely jealous of Biggie and Pac's friendship.
Oh, shit, no, no. You can see
When
that.
I was around Babe, I felt like he really loved me. Like, I felt like if I left the room, he wasn't gonna say nothing bad, or somebody said something bad about me, he would defend that. He was like one of the only people I had really trusted, like, for a long time.
There's a yearning for him to have that complete, total
Can I put in that
control.
one?
You're my artist, you're my best friend.
You're writing this song like 30 motherfucking days.
I pay you, you work for me. I make hits with you. But who's this guy? Why do we need him in the picture?
That by your skin.
Tupac was a very likable person.
See the way you tell me so?
All the women loved
I
him.
love it so much.
Look at it.
Being a rapper,
Oi.
being a movie star. For Sean, being a marketer, you're a manipulator.
Please welcome Tupac Shakur.
There's envy for people who have success, fame, with no manipulation.
Puff is, to me, very threatened by Pop. When I reflect on how this all came into play, it's a trail. City College.
Them pictures was all there on purpose, man. Hold on, what?
Then
That
he had the
court
ability
and
to get
everything.
away with anything.
That was not them happened.
Then you circle in the fact that he has legit money. Then you have the antagonist, Tupac Shakur. All those ingredients created a chain of events that started in New York and ended in Vegas.
Too smart.
Do you know who was responsible for killing Tupac Shakur?
No, I don't. I think that Sean now, in my mature mind, had a lot to do with the death of Tupac.
Executive producer, 50 Cent. Curtis Jackson. Ricky.
Hang up after. Making it too much stress right now. Later.
I always look at him as just being like this rich Harlem cat who just want to dance and make money. No violence in him. But every time I turn around, there's violence. there's violence with his name on it. At the time, there's this tension that is going on between Pop and Puff. Puff wanted to work with Pop on a lot of levels, business-wise, and Pop wasn't having it. He was more interested in Biggie and his career. Puff was very threatened by Pop. It's very threatened, especially if you're an executive who wants the guy to make you money, and the guy is saying, no, fuck you.
Around that time,
Tupac was going to do a song with Lil Sean at Quiet Studio.
Out of the blue, they wanted to do the song, so I said, all right, stop up, because so we, then I was getting a page, where you at, why you ain't coming? I was like, I'm coming, I'm on my way, hold on. I wasn't thinking, why they want me here so bad? We walking up to the building, somebody screamed from off the top of the studio, it's Little Caesar. He's like big, he's side man.
We was in the recording room, baby. And I'm yelling like, yo, Pop. And he looked up, yo, what's up, little nigga? I go back in the room, I tell Big, I'm like, yo, Big, Pop downstairs. He was like, oh, all right, go get him. Get to the elevator. And when I was about to walk out, two dudes came from both sides. They fucked back to the elevator.
Recording artist Tupac Shakur was shot 5 times last night in a robbery.
After surgery, his condition was upgraded to satisfactory, and he checked out of the hospital against his doctor's advice.
I think they're trying to run me out, really. Well, I'm just going to leave $80,000.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They don't do that. They pay nobody else.
Let's look at the facts.
The music alongside that.
Puff is there. Pac has been shot in New York under your watch. Question would be, who knew that he was pulling up?
Biggie, nor myself had nothing to do whatsoever of Tupac being robbed. That's just a fact.
After everything that has
He says
unfolded,
not.
I have to think twice about how that
Yes.
turned out.
No, wake up. Sorry, wake up.
And you can see now
They're
why
so
someone
okay, she has.
out the picture.
You
You know why? Why he was alive. Puff was exalted. That's the big picture. And that's a story that hasn't been.
Can you doesn't take long to do that. We start after just after 10, 10:15. And it's not 12:15. I thought you'd have been here longer. So it's train a team. Train a team. Huh? Yeah. Oh, I gotta do it down.
Time to be like, time to go to the future. Time to go to the future. I got to be something. You know what I'm saying? It was just time to me like that's what I was saying. That shit was there like 2 months ago, right? I'm not sure.
Puff is in this position where he has all this turmoil, but he's not at the point where he's saying where I went wrong. He's saying to himself, how do I get out of this? Maybe I can convince some witnesses that I'm not the guy who I am. Eventually, he's going to get to the point where he's going to ask himself, how did I get myself in this situation?
Like you.
Tonight, that should be having my baby.
I don't know why you put that in the window. I want to see everybody in there. Mary.
Sean was in his office, I'm in a little cubby hole around the corner, buzzes me. So I get up and I go in with my papers and go. A girl's giving him a blowjob at the desk. He wanted me to see that. He wanted me to see her face. And then he was able to get her to do that right then and there in the office. She leaves. What did you want me for? I didn't want you for anything. That was the beginning for me to see this is what's going on here. So the seeds for all of this was early on. And that came from people in the industry co-signing his activity because it brought money in.
was a consistent back to back to back to back. So let me just give you a day in the life of Puff Daddy. Gets up from wherever he stayed that night. Heads to the office 2 hours later. You might have somebody pulling him over saying, hey, ain't you in that video? Ain't that you? Oh, yo, here go a demo. He's all right. What's up, Puff? How you doing, baby, bro? Had the big baseball bat cell phone. The phone might ring. Such and such is on the phone calling from jail. Yo, come home. You might have a group standing in front of the office, all ready with the microphone, ready to sing, you love me, I love, just to get their shot at Puffy. Everybody wants to see him. He is now the new gateway into music. You're going to take all of this power and money you're getting now and play by the rules. No, I'm the rule now. I am the exception to the rule.
One day, it seemed like out of the blue, my door opens up. Sean walks in. He had a baseball bat and a big attaché case suitcase with the stamps on it. The stocks were there.
You know, fucking hustle, you know, grind, do your job, whatever you
He wanted me to sign my 25% off. And then he's over me like this. He wants to stop that. He wants it now.
not gonna stay fucking lying down. I can't do that, man.
He said, there's a business deal I need to take care of. I need to do this. I need to get this all over with, but I'll give it back to you. I'm going to give it back to you. And he threatened until I did. People always say to me, why would you do that? Why did you do that, right? That was, you know.
Okay.
I didn't want to give it back. I wanted to stay in the graces. I still wanted to be at the company. It wasn't like he was fired.
No problem.
But I was definitely confused by it. And it might sound strange, but if you ever built something and you want it to last, you think about how to make it last.
I thought he was kind of cool at first, and then we started seeing some things. Craig started becoming disenchanted.
I want to congratulate Craig Mack on his Grammy nomination. Thanks, yeah, baby. Yeah, that's cool. Sure.
Yo, we got nominated for a Grammy, but we had no money.
If you look at Bad Boy didn't sell enough records to explain his wealth. But enough artists were on the label that sold enough records to explain his wealth.
Sean's trick was, I'm going to make you a star, you're signed, follow the money. That's what you're going to try to do as hard as you can. You're going to try your best. And we know you're going to try your best. So you signed your deal, we gave you your advance. At Uptown, that's the only money the artist had ever seen, that first advance. Andre had to wait and that was something else. Did he make that up? He made it even tighter. It's a shell game. You hide everything that isn't earning, you confuse the earnings, and now I own everything. You'll go out into the world, and the shell game, you'll be looking for your money for the next 20 years.
Sean did that to every artist. You're in the studio, now you have to recoup for being in the studio. Puff owns the studio, and I have 4 sessions with you, owe me $400,000. If Puff records a song with his artist, he pays himself. If he's in your video, he pays himself.
He insert himself into their videos. A video come on, you like, hate that guy.
As an artist, you can go #1. Song is being played all over the nation, but you don't have the money to go to because you're not making the proper money off of your royalties.
Craig and I hit a point where we fucked up, no money, nothing. Hell, I was getting money from my father to few dollars and you'll get him back once he went and did this show. He literally went in his pocket and pulled out a knot of money this big and gave him $100 bill. You really just don't give a fuck.
I think Sean had an envy for his own artists. He was jealous of their talent and wondering, like, this talent is wasted on people who don't even really know what to do. And if I had that talent and my know-how, wow.
That's interesting because a lot of people Puffy's age want to grab this mic and rap, but Puffy, you want to do other things. And
You know what?
Sucks. He has zero talent musically. He don't know how to skate. He don't know nothing about R&B. None of that stuff.
He used to ask me to always be there on the sessions because I would tell the truth. I'd be like, that's not it. People would be there like, yeah, that was tight. That was tight. I'd be like,
no, it wasn't. No, the fuck it wasn't.
People would just tell you anything. That sucked. It doesn't sound good and it makes no sense. But he always wanted to be an artist.
We about to just drop our R&B stuff. The puppet on y'all. We're about to pump that solo.
I want to throw it away.
Sean used other methods and ways to get to where he had to go. Big on strategy, big on swag. All of those things became important.
But it boiled down to the music. Anybody didn't touch you, I showed you what to do. So that's what he was. That whole bad boy was built on him. You cannot take that from him. But I think that puppy was the light that he always wanted. From dancing the whole night. You see, anybody that boasts and lie like that, they want to be the spotlight. Wasn't like no secret, that's what he wanted.
6'3", 335-pound Suge Knight has managed to become the head of a $100 million record company.
It's the record label at ground zero of the whole gangster rap phenomenon, Death Row Records. Suge was about that money, but he didn't want to be in that limelight like Puff. He had his own lane.
You're a big guy, and there are people who are afraid of you. But there are people afraid of you.
Back in 1988, the person who did the greatest job of protecting me was the head of my security at the time, Suge Knight.
Right now I'm on the Heartbreak Tour with Robin Brown and New Edition.
We about to get on the tour bus, and these dudes came over.
I didn't want to throw it away, but because it's a nice mix, but hey.
And I seen Suge kind of just turn this way and gave him one of these. Bam, like that. And knocked dude down the hill. And it looked like a cartoon. Dude was rolling down the hill. Boom, boom. His Tim's skateball. He's a street dude. He's a real street dude. But Suge knew talent and he knew business.
They took me on tour, and I learned how every person who's writing songs can pick up their money. Like they publish.
He was able to dovetail that into starting Death Row Records.
1, 2, 3, it's a love phone. Snoop Doggy Dogg and I can drink it. That's the dope.
Death Row could be bigger than Motown, or Sony, or Warner Brothers.
Death Row's gonna be the biggest record company there is. Chronic Albums, the foundation.
Before Bad Boy, Death Row was the most successful label in the business. Sean had admired Death Row and wanted us to emulate them. And that was my job. How do
So we're going to encapsulate.
Of Death Row. And of course my eyes was like this, Death Row. They had a head start. They had
I'm gonna put some foil on this one, or leave it gold foil, not the glitter, but foil.
Yeah, he would pick me up from the airport. You know, I was just networking with the brother, you know, show me a lot of love. You know, I really had thought we were cool.
Me and Puffy used to run around with each other. He was getting in the business, I was in the business.
Live a life without fear. Only a few years later, Bad Boy, Death Row. The two hottest labels. But I would look over at Death Row and say, they're taking care of their artists better than we are.
They'll put in your head, fuck the artist. And my thing was opposite. It's about me and my people. Fuck you.
afraid wasn't happy there. Death Row was courting him because Suge was opening up a Death Row East, and it was found out. Yes.
The Source Awards was happening in New York City.
First gangster party. We'll never forget that.
And behind the scenes, people were running back and forth to the next dressing room, to the next dressing room, which were in trailers parked
That
outside
party
Madison
used to be
Square
nice,
Garden.
boy.
How important is it to have the Source Award? Let me just wait in front. You got that?
Well, man, who's banging on the door like a telephone? What else? Dog, what is the deal, man? Keep the door closed.
And it escalated with words from the podium at the awards show.
Anyone out there want to be an artist and want to stay a star and don't want to have to worry about the daily producer trying to be all in the video, all on the record. Yeah, come to Death Row.
Check this out. Contrary to what other people may feel, I would like to say that I'm very proud of Dr. Dre, of Death Row, and Suge Knight for their accomplishments. You know what I'm saying? I'm a positive black man, and I make music to bring us together, not to separate us. And all this East and West that needs to stop. So give it up for everybody from the East and the West that won tonight. One love.
Sean wants to present strength. He wants to show coolness. And then there's a side of him that's all out dark. He processes things differently. He remembers every slight.
Once again, y'all, please give it up for all the nominees.
Want more? That's good.
Before I signed with Bad Boy, I was working at the door of the club, the Platinum House. Every Friday we had a Bad Boy party. So Puff was there. Suge Knight came that night with his friend Jake. And I was working the door. Suge was looking for Puff. Sean would try to go after people's side chicks. Like a girl in Atlanta that Suge was dealing with. Sean wanted me to take $50,000 out of the overhead account so he could buy her a diamond necklace, wooing her because she was Suge's side piece in Atlanta when he came there.
Real police officer in a real police uniform came and got on tape. The man, you said the homie, we gonna carry this motherfucker up. He said, well, I gotta throw him out. I said, for what? He said, he was puppy.
Suge and Jake was being escorted out the club by the off-duty officer we always had there moonlighting. Jake comes out, Suge come out, Puff come out, everybody's outside. A man appeared with one hand behind his back, and he was holding a pistol. He touched Jake with the pistol, and he looked at Suge like this, and he was shooting Suge's friend like this. He shot him 5 times. Suge grabbed a hold to Puffy and the chokehold and put him in front of him like this. So he was moving Puff around like this. In case you shoot him, you're gonna shoot Puffy, you're not gonna shoot me. Puff was like, it's gonna be alright, man, it's gonna be alright. Suge said, what you mean it's gonna be alright? He said, tell your mama it's gonna be alright. Tell your kids it's gonna be alright. And then Suge ran. Ambulance came and took Jake to the hospital. A couple of days later, he died. That's what started the East Coast, West Coast war.
Tupac Tupac Shakur out of the hospital after surgery from bullet wounds is convicted on sex charges.
After Pac gets shot in Quad Studio, he had the rape case.
A New York jury convicted the rapper of first-degree sexual abuse but acquitted him of more serious charges.
Since your period of incarceration in Clinton Correctional Facility, have you taken the time to reflect on your gangster thug image?
Pac and Big were friends at one time, but then once Pac was in jail, Bad Boy and all of his associations were nemesis.
I'm in jail, strangers is telling me. Yo, you don't know? Biggie homeboys shot you. Cause they bragging, they telling they in jail. Yo, we just got popped.
Once the conflict happens, Pac needed someone strong that was going to stand with him. And it just so happened that Suge had his own issue with Puffy, so Suge went to jail and visited.
The whole shit is like some mob shit. Into Tupac, a young cat. I'm gonna join the family, dog. Get me out.
Suge Knight first signed Tupac to a recording contract when Tupac was in this New York State prison, unable to come up with the $1 million needed for bail, while his lawyers appealed a 1995 conviction for sexual assault.
I want everybody to give a big welcome for Tupac.
Out on bail, rapper Tupac Shakur's rush-to-market double album All Eyes on Me debuts at #1 on this week's Billboard chart.
With the addition of Tupac, there's no way y'all can stop us, man.
Bad boy. Got something fucking on. Coming to the East Coast to prove there is no fear. Overthrow the government y'all got right now, which is Bad Boy and all that bullshit. And we will bring a new government here that will feed every person in New York.
Sean tried everything to get Biggie upset. He had to go at him with business. This guy came at us.
I was more in the mind frame of keep your mouth shut, Big. You know what I'm saying? Just don't feed into it. As you feed into it, it's gonna do nothing but escalate. You know what I'm saying?
Biggie never wanted to be an enemy to Pac. As things was coming from the West Coast, Biggie did not want to give any shots back.
When Pac was producing All Eyes on Me, he called us and said, I just fucked Faith Evans, Big's wife. He's like, what?
First off, fuck your bitch in the click
game.
West side when we rock.
We rock the game.
Claim to be a player,
You don't fuck your life.
Well, that's not true at all. Big is still my husband legally. I am having this baby, you know.
Sean kept putting pressure on Biggie. You gotta answer back.
Tupac had me pissed off, you know what I'm saying? And the rumors that spread is on some shit like we set him up. You know what I'm saying? And that's crazy. The East Coast, West Coast thing was invented, period. Because no matter what, we all went to the East, they came here, went to the West, whatever. They wasn't arguing with each other. Well, we was able to roam.
Bad boy as a staff, working labor with as a motherfucking crew.
It was this Bad Boy and the bro. And that right there put people in danger because it made people be like, F you, and people started doing stuff for no reason because there's you know, it's just people that want to ride for each other. And then look what happened, so.
Doing the street thing. My affiliation was with the Mansfield Hustlers. Today, we go by Mansfield Gangster Crips now.
Police say the drugs
That Keefy?
are being spread by two long-standing rivals in the Los Angeles youth
I'm trying to figure out who that buddy was.
who call themselves Crips and wear blue colors, and Bloods who wear red.
Did you guys provide protection?
Sean Combs was a friend. Christopher Wallace was a friend. And, you know, when we hanging out with our friends, we're gonna protect our friends. So they knew. They were our associates. You got beef with them, you got beef with me. Period.
A number of reports have come out that Bad Boy Entertainment had actually hired Crips for security work out on the West Coast. Is that true?
We've never hired Crips or any other gang faction to do security for us. It would be extremely unintelligent to hire some gangs to do security.
Innocent.
A lot of the New York
Tone
guys
voice.
come out to LA. Zip is a person that I know that was Hubby's man. That was his guy.
Eric Von Zip is a drug lord from Harlem, but Sean told me he was his uncle. He might have known Janice on the Fringe. He might have known Sean's father from those days.
Zip had a relationship with the Southside Crips, and then he also had a relationship with us.
Sean said Zip can give us protection going back and forth to LA because he was in with the Crips. And we had a beef with Suge Knight and the Bloods.
Knight dresses in all red, the colors of the drug-dealing Blood street gang.
One of the death row people got jumped by someone at a mall. And that someone was from Southside Crips. One of the Crips tried to take a death row chain. I think that was an order from Bad Boy. That was an order from Puff. Because it was specific. We want a death row chain.
Everybody got what they wanted that night. People got to see Tyson knock a motherfucker out.
Tyson with the left hook and showing his down. It's over in the first round.
That's probably the reason we got us all fucked up with a lot of shit from fight night. You seen a Tyson fight? You want to fight?
At the fight, the guy who was ripped off with a death row chain is with Suge and Pop. He just whispers to Pop, that's it. It was Orlando Anderson from Southside Crips, who was connected with Puff.
Come on.
Yes, I see Pac like, take to get it down.
That was the foundational moment when all this was getting out of control.
Rapper Tupac Shakur was shot in the chest late
Morning shot multiple times in the chest in a drive-by shooting.
Death Row record label owner Marion Suge Knight was also in the car, but his injuries were minor.
Craig called me up. It was late. He was out there at the fight because he was supposed to have performed at some club that Suge owned. And I guess Tupac was supposed to come through. He was like, how come Tupac just got shot? Craig was like scared. Who is he scared of? Probably Puff. He ended up not going to death row after that.
Hi, Deb the Soaring with MTV News. Controversial rapper and actor Tupac Shakur has died in a Las Vegas hospital of complications from several...
I was in jail. I was in jail when he got shot. There was a lot of niggas in jail that was celebrating Pac's death. I'm glad that I didn't kill anybody or anybody killed me. But I damn sure came close.
Police in Las Vegas say they have no motive for this latest shooting, but the rapper's troubled past will certainly be part of the investigation.
Do you know who was responsible for the killing of Tupac Shakur?
I don't.
I think that Sean now, in my mature mind, had a lot to do with the death of Tupac.
In 2006, I was recruited to work a task force that was going to look at a cold case investigation. At the time, Tupac's murder is an unsolved case. Gang crimes oftentimes are difficult to solve because you don't get cooperating witnesses. They want to stick to a code that typically entails not cooperating with law enforcement and then taking matters into your own hands.
It ain't my job to snitch on nobody, because I would never snitch on nobody.
We had built a narcotics case against Keefe D. Keefe D was kind of the shot caller for the Southside Crips. He was the most prominent drug dealer. He was very influential in his gang. His nephew, Orlando Anderson, was a very well-known violent gang member. Tupac Shakur had assaulted Orlando Anderson just after the Mike Tyson fight. So Keefe was potentially looking at a life sentence for federal drug trafficking. We wanted to question him about his potential role in the murder of Tupac Shakur. We let him know that he could potentially mitigate some of the damages if he wanted to come in and talk to us. And the U.S. attorney agreed that they'd allow Keefe D to do a proffer session.
Keefe, today what we're going to do, we're just going to go over with a fine-tooth comb to Las Vegas incident. So you have to emphasize to you, it's determined that some of these details are incorrect and everything's off the table.
A proffer session is when a person facing criminal charges can answer questions wherein self-incriminating information would not be used against him in a criminal prosecution. Doesn't mean they have any kind of immunity.
Hey, I'm gonna say this one too. I feel like I said that day, don't bullshit me and don't bullshit y'all. You know what I'm saying?
A year prior to the murder of Tupac Shakur, he has had several conversations with Sean Combs.
I mean, he gave a party at Silver Club down in Santa Monica. That's where I met him. First day I met him.
Sean Combs' affiliation with the Southside Crips came by way of a New York street figure known as Zip. Zip set up the introduction between Combs and Keefe D, and then they developed their own relationship.
And Zip, you know, he said, boy, what do you do with this man? It's my friend. It's my friend. No more. Boy, keep up. And after that, they used my car.
That's Butterflies.
His car was at 64 Chevy.
What?
No, come on. Where did this come from?
Daddy P. What's on Daddy P?
Who?
What's on Daddy P?
Oh, okay, I don't know them people.
Daddy P is PJ.
Hmm?
PJ.
Oh.
Keefe D says that Sean Combs kind of makes this general announcement while they're all inside of a hotel room after a musical event.
So it's Pharrell, Buffy, Zoo, you,
About 40-some songs on it. Yeah, that was stupid as hell too, you know. Shit, he said he didn't give us anything for them do this, you know. Tupac, I said, he said it in front of all the people, I couldn't believe it. You know what I'm saying? All one was records.
so this is an application that you know, he was worried about something happening.
Put him in the next one.
That's what he's scared.
Then there's a more specific in Los Angeles, it's called Green Lights Deli.
What made it a specific, like, hey, I'm serious, I want you guys to kill these guys.
When he told me the green man, when we got there, we were mad at him. He was just throwing something dead, he shot everything in, he was all up the kitchen where we was mad like a man, what you mad for that, dog? Man, don't just come out here and get an idiot wrong, dog. I took him downstairs and he was like, man, what you really want to do, man? Don't be a problem. Don't let me make the ring. Yeah, okay, that just still won't. Yeah, we want to do it.
He tells you seriously that I'm gonna get rid of these guys, I'm gonna get rid of June guys, and get them guys scared.
Yeah.
You tell him, I'm looking for $1 million, and he's like,
says that when Las Vegas happens and they're all out there and his nephew gets assaulted by Tupac, they're like, this is the perfect occasion.
We got this. This is perfect opportunity, baby. Yeah, because of what happened. Yeah. You know, Chris was down there and he told me in the lobby that he had some change. Somebody had a change. And that man, he had a little secret department. They ain't popped out.
The vehicle that Zip was driving that night reportedly had what we call a trap in it, which is a concealed compartment where you can place a gun. It's a difficult thing to find. Zip had driven that car to Las Vegas.
A few days before Tupac was murdered, Sean requested that we rent cars and have multiple drivers drive clear across the country to this fight. But I arranged through my budget to make that trip happen for those drivers. And to this day, it stands out in my mind. Why did we rent multiple cars? Why did we hire people from Harlem and other locations to drive?
You tell her that they were going to handle this shit or whatever. Yeah, they had like a young ones to come. Like, you know where the motherfuckers at? They was telling her that they gonna be at the 662, 2 cars go to 662. Yeah, the van and the cat. They didn't show up. We waited about 15, 20 minutes, they didn't show up. So, they was like, let's go get some liquor. Then we came up, Harlem, at the Las Vegas Boulevard. Shit. Here he coming at BMW when he ain't crying.
On their way to the club, Suge is blaring his music too loud. He gets pulled over by some police officers. They essentially, say, hey, just turn down your music, no big deal. And it's at this point in time that Suge and Tupac see these girls.
Like, they're like the police were going through a car or something or another, and then the traffic was stopped, and then they got in the car.
Did you see who was legit?
I saw it was Tupac, and then he was like, come on, come go with me. Come go with us, we going to 662.
Bro, Tupac. We like, there you go. Just want to get you there. We just pulled up on the side, check every car, see where they was.
So what directed your attention to him was some girl shouting at Tupac?
Tupac! He gave himself away. Otherwise, he got away. And man, he leaned over and the wind blew around the window, pop.
Suge looks over, he sees you.
Yeah, man. I didn't know he done something with some baby door. I seen him do it to my shit again. I thought he was dead. Thought he was dead.
If you knew who killed Tupac, would you tell the police?
Absolutely not.
I went and parked the car, put the gun on the tire and left.
Where'd you guys go?
What's wrong with you, man? Well, they don't get a party, and they pulled up in the ambulance while we standing right there. Think I'm bullshitting.
You guys on the street went to
We on Las Vegas Boulevard, the crosswalk, and they pull up down right next to us.
we can make a car already?
Tupac and Suge in the car.
They are
It's close.
Did they see you?
We didn't give a fuck. We know that. Nobody. Damn, parked right here. Right next to us.
KPD, he was never compensated for the murder. But he said that a partial amount of the money was intended to be forwarded to him through Zip to the tune of about $500,000. The $1 million solicitation amount, only half of it was fulfilled because only Tupac and not Suge was killed. Keefe D has a conversation with Darius Rogers with D-Mac. And D-Mac says there had been a payment from Combs to Keefe D, but it had gone through Zip, and then that money was never forwarded. We're just hoping and waiting to see what kind of progress Las Vegas would make with Keefe D's cooperation. Nothing really happens. Ultimately, Zip dies from cancer.
Thank you for coming out to Zip, and I want everybody to know that when you come here, we want to keep the peace.
And Orlando Anderson is shot and killed in 1998. So it's really Keefe D and Puffy Combs are the last men standing. They can be held accountable for Tupac Shakur's murder.
Oh gosh. See if we can look up. Okay, actually allow me to continue. See if it. Yes, allow me to continue right there.
Backdrop of East Coast, West Coast beef. Sean took Biggie to Los Angeles to record what would be the finishing touches on Biggie's Life After Death album, which wasn't titled as that yet.
Yo,
Hey, wake up, baby.
what the fuck, man? What's up?
Come on, man. We're quarter to 6 to get the 7:30 flight on the LAX.
Oh, Cali?
No doubt, baby.
We've been warned to not come to LA. There were warnings all along for the last few months that we are not to set foot on the West Coast. It was award show season, and Sean wanted them to start promoting the album. Sean talked him into doing all of these things.
My internet's been messing around. So I finished capping and it's now just filing. The good thing about my application is when I do that, I don't have a lot of filing to do. So I mainly just sealing the cuticles and taking whatever ridges or lumps and bumps I have, which is very minor because I take my time with my application.
They say one day very far, over land and sea.
Sorry.